I love what you said, the experimentation culturally. I remember when I lived in Ecuador, everyone wanted to be correct or everyone wanted to be the owner of the truth. But when you enter a more academic field, you realize the importance of error, as you just said. And I like how you approach that. You do it with humility, you do it with the curiosity of not only looking for the truth, but also of not feeling bad about the mistake and learning what is the most important thing in the field that you are in, David, because I imagine that you have to work with people who believe that they own the truth. And those are the most personalities. Maybe harder to handle. How do they accept the information you provide them, and how do you deal with those clients? Difficult.
But let's see, I think part of reaching these types of people is with evidence. So why is he not going to believe you? Because he says, no, this boy, what are you going to see? On the other hand, if you go with the audience, look at this, I did it this way, or if you want, let's do it. And then I came to say, to challenge them in that way, plus say to challenge him in a way in an intellectual and polite way. So then look and see, just like you tell me, are you going to make a mistake or are you going to always have a problem? The proper way is how I'm telling you. If you want, allow me the lab and we'll do it. And so that you can compare the difference of putting it in the order that you are doing versus the one that I am indicating to you. So when you take him to the plane, since you have how to check it, he also feels and generates curiosity. No, let's see, because I did it too and it didn't come out. The first thing that comes out to you is to say, well, here we go. Your laboratory allows me and we can do it. Come on. And they told me, come on. So I was prepared with the samples that what I had to bring says, look, you are doing it this way, and this is the result. Yes, I am always having that with your product, but it is the right way. I left what you already did. It says now, thank you.
The clear and, for example, that manifestation of truth, and it is, I like how you say you share that the order in chemistry does not always have to be order, but to reach that order, you have to generate this order to see what it is that it takes you.
That one.
Production, then it's asking. You have to be very creative too, not just organized. How you swing when you should use your creativity versus order as a chemical.
You have to do it to know, because let's see, you can have an order in your process, but you know that many times you are not stuck to production, for example. Or don't you have to be there? If not, you give it to an operator, and that's what they always sometimes know how to say. No, it's just that with this operator, he always does well, but the other one comes and it never comes out. So what's the problem? The problem is not the raw material. We are going to see the operator and talk to the operator, and I want to be there during the process and to tell him why I don't have to do it. So we adjusted the processes for the operator as well. Then everyone had to be educated. You also had to structure it and do it and teach him why it was that way. Of course, I wasn't going to understand the chemistry part, but I was going to accommodate words, and that also helped me structure the school. With my friends, sometimes when I taught them, I knew that some I saw at university, I still had to talk to them in a less grotesque way, others with rudeness. Yes, I remember in college, I was with a friend. I didn't know. It didn't work out. I don't understand the teacher. She told me one of those. The teacher left and left us alone. Then I apologized. Look, Chucha, you have to take this egg, take her to this shit that is here and now, and start talking to her like that. Ah, I understand. I understand. I understand. I understand. I understand. And the teacher had been at the door watching. She had barely opened the door, and she had been seeing how I spoke to her very rudely. And my partner, now David, you said that he did this, and he repeated it, but without rudeness, he repeated it to me and went to do it. And he replied, and it came out, hey, David, the teacher came out to me. Well, look, yes, here it is. The experiment came out to us all, yes or KCU. The teacher was withdrawing me. Well, come on here. It's okay that he teach his students, his classmates, but do it without too much rudeness. He told me I was seeing him. He tells me no, don't say too much rudeness. I say yes, but it's just that. It was my way of getting there so that I tell her it's because it's the way I distract him to give him the order he needs, and then that person needs you to know how to lead her in another way so that she can learn. Then I took them rudely and left, but at the same time they paid more attention to me and Mira up here. Like the teacher said, and why does she do it? Because this nonsense started then, and many asked me to explain to them sometimes. And from there I made it less rude now, but generating different attention to the orders of the situations. In chemistry, you have to follow them, because many times the final result is not good for you when you change or vary the final result. You can still be good, but it is not excellent anymore. And if you make mistakes many times, there is a way to fix that product, or there are others that are not. So there is also the ability of how you recover. And again, you reach the product with the quality you want. Sometimes you can't, and nothing happens. In other situations, yes, or because they no longer bought the same raw material from the same supplier but from another, and that one has another different feature, and that's why they can have problems. So that is why it is asked that they preferably follow the order indicated, because many times you do not know that all the raw materials come from the same origin. They can come from China, India, Brazil, Russia, and each one has a different process, very similar, yes, for obtaining, but sometimes they differ greatly.
I get lost in values of great cities that give vacuum.